Hello everyone, it's Mark. I am the Sanderson Collector, and this is the 2020 August 23rd edition of the Sanderson Collector News. In the Sanderson Collector News, I cover everything that I've found of interest that is new in the Sanderson collecting world every week or two. And the first thing that's interesting is this. This is actually my first edition of the Sanderson News, and I am very excited to do it, and really hope that it also helps speed up my other videos by getting all the random news tidbits out of the way of those and letting me focus, and giving you one place to go where you can find out what's new in collecting and the Sanderson fandom in general, although I will definitely try to keep this more geared towards the collecting as much as I can. Additionally, I have a new video up. It went up earlier today. That is my Sanderson Collector bounty list, so definitely go check that out. If you have any of the advanced reader copies I need, I will be willing to pay a good amount of money for them. In terms of Brandon's writing, the Dawnshard novella is now up to 75%. If you want to order this novella, which should be out before Rhythm of War comes out in November, then you can do that through the backer kit link. If you are a backer who backed the Kickstarter for Way of Kings, you have to wait for your data to be transferred over. If you did not back, you can go back on the backer kit now, link in the description, and go ahead and buy the Dawnshard novella in hardcover and ebook formats. And then yes, Rhythm of War is out November 17th, and we have a cover for it. We know what it's going to look like when we get the physical book in our hands and put it on our shelves and collect it. And it's so exciting. We got another gorgeous US cover by Michael Whelan, and you can see the art for it here. It depicts Shallan and Adolin in Shadesmar, and we have confirmation from Michael and his assistants that this is what is depicted in here. That's not secret beta reader knowledge or anything. Michael has said, this is Shallan, this is Adolin, this is in Shadesmar. I think the depiction of Shadesmar is absolutely eerie and so awesome, with the sun on the horizon and the rays coming off, and just the weird geometric feeling of all the shapes and everything in the background. Everything looks so cool, but ever so slightly off, which is what you expect for Shadesmar. So I absolutely love this cover. I adore it. I will likely be getting some art prints or whatever I can of it, and absolutely cannot wait to have that on the shelf next to the other 3 Stormlight books. As part of the news with this, Michael Whelan and his assistants are trying to say that the cover art for Way of Kings, this iconic cover that you know so well, is not actually Dalinar and Eshonai, as we have said for many years it is. Here is his tweet that is trying to say this. I think it's a bit of a retcon to say that that's not who this is, and I'm going to keep believing that that's who's on the covers. Additionally, if you want to order the UK edition of Rhythm of War, we have the cover art for that as well. That is by Sam Green, and again depicts Shallan doing some fancy sword work. Here is the cover, and so if you are ordering a UK edition of Rhythm of War, which you can order either a regular edition or the signed edition through Waterstones, links to those will be in the description, as well as the links to order the US edition and the signed US edition from Barnes & Noble. Now there's 2 other countries that have unique covers that have come out for Rhythm of War so far. They are Bulgaria and Germany. Bulgaria had a cover contest put on by the publisher Artline Studios, and they had 4 finalists, which you can see on their Facebook page. Link to that is in the description. And the winner was the artist Yasin Stoylov, and once again it depicts Shallan and Adolin in Shadesmar. And since we had Shallan on both this cover and the UK cover before we got the US cover, we had strongly suspected that that was who was going to be on the cover, but it is really nice to have that confirmed and see the Michael Whelan cover. I think the Bulgarian cover is very much in the style of the US covers, very color heavy and very enveloping, and almost, I don't know, cinematic isn't the right word, but it's a very gorgeous piece of cover art. as are all the other finalists, honestly, so I kind of hope they do alternate dust jackets for all of those. Those would be awesome to collect. But yes, this is the art that is going to be on the Bulgarian edition of Rhythm of War. And so if you want to order that, I'll toss the ISBN in the description as always. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Additionally, there is a really cool interview that the people from Cosmere.es have conducted with the artist. A link to the English translation is in the description below. And on that note, Spain is going to get the US cover by Michael Whelan mainly for Rhythm of War. However, they are having a special release version at a specific bookstore, I believe, that is going to use the Bulgarian cover. So both of those are also going to have a Spanish edition. If you want to collect those, I will try to put links below if I can find them for ordering those because they look super cool. And then the last cover we get is this thing in the German edition of Part 1. Note, Part 2 is not coming out till the middle of next year and we do not have a cover for it yet. This is just Part 1 of Rhythm of War, and so we have this cover art depicting, I don't know, Thalen City or something like that. The German covers have always been more feeling-based than actually depicting events that are in the books, so take anything here with a grain of salt. It still looks pretty cool. I'm definitely still going to try to get this edition at some point, but it's not as really neat for the books as the other scenes on the covers that I've shown so far. Again, a link to order this will be in the description if you want to get the German edition of Part 1 of Rhythm of War. Now, if you can't wait to read Rhythm of War until November 17th or later, depending on your country, then you can go check out the preview chapters up now at Tor.com. Link to the main Rhythm of War page will be in the description, and they're doing one chapter a week. We have the first 7 chapters now, so you can go binge those and then catch up with one chapter a week as they go. And additionally, Alice and Lindsay, who do the reread of the Stormlight and other Sanderson books for Tor.com, are doing a read-along where they post their thoughts and comments on the chapters right after the chapters go up, which is at 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning, so definitely go check that out and follow if you want to get previews for Rhythm of War. There are some other books and editions that are up for pre-order, but nothing coming out in the next week or two. And so if you want to, there's a link to Book Depository's pre-order page. You can check them out there, but I will go over those in more detail in later videos. This one is already getting long enough as it is, mostly because there's lots of Rhythm of War news, so I'm not going to cover those in detail here. Just a quick note, the leather bounds of Mistborn: The Final Empire and Elantris are in stock at the Sanderson store, so if you need to complete your leather-bound set and want to catch up, say you back to the Way of Kings Kickstarter, know you want all the leather-bounds, you can get Mistborn, that is a 5th printing, and you can get Elantris, that is a 2nd edition 1st printing. I did a video about the differences between the 1st and 2nd editions last week. You can find that link in the description as well. And I will update y'all in the future if the other ones come available for order again. I believe the Sanderson store is currently trying to get all of them in stock, but they have to wait on the publisher, and most publishers are having delays right now because of the global pandemic. And on that note, the Dark One was actually supposed to release its hardcover this past week on August 17th. However, the printer put some delays on that because they did not want their printing floor to be tightly packed with people so that they can limit the spread of the coronavirus. And so they have slowed down their printing schedule, and the Dark One has been pushed back with a current estimated shipping date from Vault Comics of September 7th. I would like them to meet that date, but if they don't, I still understand combating a global pandemic is kind of crazy and really important, so, you know, I don't really hold anything against them because that's the reason for the delay. And then the last thing that is up for pre-order is the Siege of Luthadel expansion to the Mistborn House War game by Crafty Games, and they kickstarted the House War game about 4 years ago, and the expansion is finally ready. It will be released December 1st, and they also have the dice that they kickstarted a year or so ago, the Metal Allomantic dice, which look absolutely amazing. They are so cool and so hefty to hold because they're made out of metal and they're colored to look like the metals of the element that has the symbol on them. It is such a neat set and absolutely one that I'm going to collect and never play with because they're so heavy. I don't want them to damage my dice tower and stuff. They also have 3 sets of dice for the elementic, ferrochemical, and hemalurgic arts with the symbols on them. These are more standard acrylic dice, which you can get and use in your regular games, and they additionally have a dice tower with some Mistborn symbols and a Mistborn logo on the back, which is really cool. And so all of these, the dice and stuff, are up for pre-order with a shipping date of estimated November 1st. So all of that just went up for pre-order this week. If you like to collect the dice and other things from Crafty Games, links to all that will be in the description as well. And that is everything that I know of that is up for pre-order right now, and all the news I know of in the Sanderson community. If I've missed something, please let me know, and I'll try to get it in the video next week or 2 or 3 weeks, however long it takes to fill up my news queue and do another one of these videos. And so I hope y'all enjoyed the news video, and I hope y'all look forward to the next one, and until then, happy collecting.